guy tacos and
What is
like
that?
black,
Like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and,
okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal.
Hi, everyone. We're back to the Democrats today because the Democratic Convention is finally upon us. Even with pro-Palestinian protests going on outside the venue, the Dems are in full vibing mode. On the first night, we had AOC, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden taking to the stage. First,
please welcome New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Thank you, Chicago, for your energy. Thank you, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, for your vision. And thank you, Joe Biden, for your leadership. I am here tonight because America has before us a rare and precious opportunity. In Kamala Harris, we have a chance to elect a president who is for the middle class because she is from the middle class. She understands the urgency of rent checks and groceries and prescriptions. She is as committed to our reproductive and civil rights as she is to taking on corporate greed. And she is working tirelessly to secure a ceasefire in Gaza and bringing hostages home.
full vouch of approval here from AOC to the great Kamala Harris. On the final point, it's as if none of them know of Joe Biden. Stay till later, AOC. You can ask him yourself about the ceasefire.
In Kamala Harris, I see a leader who understands. I see a leader with a real commitment to a better future for working families. And Chicago, we have to help her win. Because we know that Donald Trump would sell this country for $1 if it meant lining his own pockets and greasing the palms of his Wall Street friends. And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a two-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots of greed, trampling on our way of life. The truth is, Don, you cannot love this country if you only fight for the wealthy and big business. To love this country is to fight for its people, all people, working people, everyday Americans like bartenders and factory workers and fast food cashiers who punch a clock and are on their feet all day in some of the toughest jobs out there.
Not bad at all.
You know, ever since I got elected, Republicans have attacked me by saying that I should go back to bartending. But let me tell you, I'm happy to any day of the week because there is nothing wrong with working for a living.
Ladies and gents, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Next, we have...
Please welcome former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
I don't think Hillary Clinton has ever received such an ovation in her life, and that includes when she was running in 2008 and 2016.
You know, my mother Dorothy was born right here in Chicago before women had the right to vote. That changed 104 years ago yesterday. Think about it. Every generation has carried the torch forward. In 1972, a fearless black congresswoman named Shirley Chisholm she ran for president. And her determination let me and millions of others dream bigger, not just because of who she was, but because of who she fought for. Working parents, poor children, the last, the least, and the lost. And then there was 2016, when it was the honor of my life to accept our party's nomination for president. And afterwards, we refused to give up on America. Millions marched, many ran for office. We kept our eyes on the future. Well, my friends, the future is here.
Look, I think this is one of the reasons Hillary couldn't make it through the finish line. Don't get me wrong, this is a great hype speech, but Hillary tried to run on this as president. Obama never ran on his blackness. This, however, isn't Hillary running, so as a hype speech, it's great.
I wish my mother and Kamala's mother could see us. They would say, keep going. Shirley and Jerry would say, keep going. So, with faith in each other and joy in our hearts, let's send Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to the White House.
Wow, Tim Walz's joy has even rubbed off on Hill Dog. Who is this man? How can he affect Democrats' minds like that? Is he a Jedi Knight?
You put any flavor in it?
No.
Think about it. The Constitution says the president's job is to take care that the laws be faithfully executed. Those are the words of our founders. Take care. Just look at the candidates. Kamala cares about kids and families, cares about America. Donald only cares about himself. On her first day in court, Kamala said 5 words that still guide her. Kamala Harris, for the people. That is something that Donald Trump will never understand. So it is no surprise, is it, that he is lying about Kamala's record. He's mocking her name and her laugh. Sounds familiar. But we have him on the run now.
Oof, it's on like Donkey Kong.
I want my grandchildren and their grandchildren to know I was here at this moment, that we were here, and that we were with Kamala Harris every step of the way. This is our time, America. This is when we stand up. This is when we break through. The future is here. It's in our grasp. Let's go win it.
And now, with the vibes certainly riding high, introducing the night's main attraction, the 46th President of the United States, Joe motherfucking Biden.
I
It's officially a Joe laugh fest. It's unbelievable that the man is at his most beloved when he decides to drop out. And with that one move, literally by walking away, he may have finished off Donald Trump.
Folks, let me ask you. Let me ask you, are you ready to vote for freedom? You cannot say you love your country only when you win. Now it's summer. The winter has passed. And with a grateful heart, I stand before you now on this August night to report that democracy has prevailed. Democracy has delivered. And now democracy must be preserved. I ran for president in 2020 because of what I saw in Charlottesville in August of 2017. Extremists coming out of the woods, carrying torches, their veins bulging from their necks, carrying Nazi swastikas, and chanting the same exact anti-Semitic bile that was heard in Germany in the early 30s. Neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and the Ku Klux Klan, so emboldened by a president then in the White House that they saw as an ally. They didn't even bother to wear their hoods. Hate was on the march in America. Old ghosts and new garments, stirring up the oldest divisions, stoking the oldest fears, giving oxygen to the oldest forces that they long sought to tear apart America. In the process, a young woman was killed. When I contacted her mother, I asked about what happened. She told me. When the president was asked what he thought had happened, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "There are very fine people on both sides. My God." That's what he said. That is what he said and what he meant. That's when I realized, had listened to the admonition of my dead son, I could not stay in the sidelines. So I ran. Because I had no intention of running again. I just lost part of my soul. But I ran with a deep conviction. In America, I know and believe in an America where honesty, dignity, decency still matter. An America where everyone has a fair shot and hate has no safe harbor.
Biden then proceeds to tout his achievements, getting Medicare to negotiate some drug prices, his infrastructure bill.
Donald Trump promised Infrastructure Week every week for 4 years, and he never built a damn thing.
The CHIPS Act,
Which America invented those chips. And guess what? The average salary in those fabs, size of a football field, will be over $100,000 a year, and you don't need a college degree. Now we export American products and create American jobs. Right here in America, where jobs belong.
where jobs belong. That's also weird. America, the home of jobs.
Wall Street didn't build America. The middle class built America, and unions built the middle class.
Yeah, Joy, they did. but they're mostly gone now, and there's barely a middle class left.
I come from a basic middle-class family. 3-bedroom house, 4 kids, a grandpop living with us, decent neighborhood, but never a penny to spare. And look, that top-down notion never worked. A lot of Democrats didn't think it worked, thought it worked, but it doesn't. And when we did all that, what we've done, everybody can do well. Everybody. Donald Trump calls America a failing nation. No, I'm serious. But think about this. Think about this. He publicly says to the whole world, I'm going to say something outrageous. I know more foreign leaders by their first names and know them well than anybody alive. Just because I'm so damn old. But I'm not joking. Think of the message he sends around the world when he talks about America being a failing nation. He says we're losing. He's the loser. He's dead wrong. MAGA Republicans found out the power of women in 2022. And Donald Trump is going to find out the power of women in 2024. Watch. I'm proud that I've kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and that taps in to the full talent of our nation. The most diverse cabinet in history, including the first black woman of South Asian descent to serve as vice president. And will soon serve as the 47th president of the United States. She is good. Look. Thank you, Kamala.
Then he talks about gun control, abortion, and of course rebuilding NATO.
We did. We united Europe like it hadn't been united for years, adding Finland and Sweden to NATO. 10 days before he died, Henry Kissinger called and said,
"See you in hell, bitch."
And end the war in Gaza and bring peace and security to the Middle East. As you know, I wrote a peace treaty for Gaza. A few days ago, I put forward a proposal that brought us closer to doing that than we've done since October 7th. We're working around the clock, my Secretary of State, to prevent a wider war and reunite hostages with their families and surge humanitarian health and food assistance into Gaza now. To end the civilian suffering of the Palestinian people and finally deliver a ceasefire and end this war. Those protesters out in the street, they have a point. A lot of innocent people are being killed on both sides.
Wow, Gaza saved.
It's been the honor of my lifetime to serve as your president. I love the job, but I love my country more. We've made incredible progress, but we have more work to do. And Kamala and Tim will continue to take on corporate greed and bring down cost of food. The ancient Greeks taught us that character is destiny.
The ancient Greeks were gay. A lot of people are telling me that.
Selecting Kamala was the very first decision I made when I became our nominee. And it was the best decision I made my whole career.
Wow, wow.
Her story represents the best American story. And like many of our best presidents, she was also vice president. Donald Trump says he will refuse to accept the election result if he loses again. Think about that. He means it. Think about that. He's promising a bloodbath if he loses, in his words. And that he'll be a dictator on day one, in his own words. By the way, this sucker means it. Folks, all of us carry a special obligation. Independents, Republicans, Democrats. We saved democracy in 2020, and now we must save it again in 2024.
Democrats saving democracy. It's what we do.
I promise I'll be the best volunteer Harrison Waltz has Cam ever seen. Each of us has a part in the American story. For me and my family, there's a song that means a lot to us. It captures the best of who we are as a nation. The song is called American Anthem. There's one verse that stands out, and I can't sing worth a damn, so I'm not going to try. I'll just quote it. The work and prayers of centuries have brought us to this day. What shall our legacy be? What will our children say? Let me know in my heart, when my days are through, America, America, I gave my best to you.
Ladies and gents, Joe Biden receiving one hell of a send-off. Fuck me, the Dems are on a roll. They're high on their own supply. They've got the spotlight. They're glitzy. They've got the vibes. Hell, they've even resurrected Joe fucking Biden. And yeah, she's wearing a tan suit. It's on, baby. It's on. Tomorrow, we've got Michelle and Barack Obama. I know the vibes can only get higher. See you tomorrow, folks. Bye-bye.